are in debt today is because Barack wrote 2 best-selling books. My mother wasn't applauding. She thought that was a silly financial plan. And it's true. We're out of debt today because of luck. And we worked hard. But there are millions of young couples like me and Barack, with their MAs and their BAs and their MPHs and their PhDs doing exactly what they were supposed to do, but they find that at a time when they should be saving for their kids' college education, because you gotta start now when they're 2, that they haven't paid off their own debt. So how do you get ahead? How do you get ahead? People don't. Regular folks are struggling. And then there's health care. People in this country are in debt not because they're spendthrifts. Usually somebody got sick. And even with insurance, the few of us who have it nowadays, the deductibles and premiums are so high that when you really get sick, you find that you have to put the cost of medication and treatment on credit cards, and people can't get out from under. They can't get out from under. And retirement. The dream of retiring at some decent age and enjoying the benefits of all your hard work and sacrifice, it's not happening. And let me tell you, this one's selfish because, see, we need our grandparents. I am standing here breathing in and out with any level of composure because my 70-year-old mother is at home with my girls, and you know there's nothing like grandma. Is affordable, accessible, and of the quality that we want. And you can't breathe when you're out there working and you don't know that your kids are being loved and cared for and read to, and they're learning values. See, we need our grandparents whole and healthy, able and willing to contribute to the next generation, but they can't if they are still struggling to pay their rent and pay for their prescription medicine. Folks are not in a position to contribute. So this is how we're living. In 2008, this is where we are. And this is what we're going to hand to our kids, and it has gotten progressively worse for regular folks through Republican and Democratic administrations. That's just a fact. And what Barack says, our greatest challenge is not that we are suffering from a deficit of resources in this nation. We are a wealthy nation. Still one of the wealthiest in the world. And it's not that we're suffering from a deficit of policies and plans, because I'm like you, I like detail. I want to know somebody's policy, but the truth is that a lot of this stuff is not rocket science. We know the answers to a lot of these questions. If we take education, public education, we know what good schools look like. And you know why we know? Because thousands of them exist all over this country. Thousands of outstanding public schools with good teacher-student ratios, with the right resources, with good parental involvement, with good equipment, great extracurriculars. They exist all over this country, and all of us are fighting to get our kids into those few good schools. We got them signed up when they're 2. We're calling our local elected officials. We're begging and borrowing. These schools exist. Our challenge is that we haven't found the will in this nation to make sure that that excellent public education is available for all kids. They're just available for the lucky few. Because as Barack says, and this is why I'm here, Barack understands what's wrong. He gets it. He understands that our greatest challenge as a nation is that we are suffering from an empathy deficit, and that is no small point. And the reason I make it over and over again is because we don't get to universal health care, we don't get to better public schools if we don't understand that we have a mutual obligation to one another in this society. That we don't measure our greatness by the strongest and the richest of us, we measure our greatness as a nation by the weakest of us.